Can you explain the difference between the devil and Lucifer? Okay. All right. Let's go to it. Let's go to who's back here in the back?
Officer Judah.
Okay, we got Officer Judah. Well, let's see. Do we want to start out with the devil first? Okay, let's start out with the devil. Let's go to Job.
The book of Job. The book of Job, chapter 1.
Let's read verse 6.
Job, chapter 1 and verse 6. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them.
Who are the sons of God that came before the Lord? I went over this a while back, so let's see. Darius, who are the sons of God that go before the Lord? What's another name for them?
The angels.
Angels, exactly right. They go before God. And hold on, let me hold it. Just popped into my head here. Go to, in Genesis, right? When Jacob. You know what I'm talking about? Yep, Genesis chapter 28, let's read verse 12 on down to show you where they go back and forth. Let's read that.
Genesis chapter 28 and verse 12.
Yep.
And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God ascending and descending on it.
So there we go. Now let's go back to Job. Right? Make sure you write that precept down. Genesis 28 and 12 shows you that they go back and forth from the heavens to the earth. Back and forth to talk to the Lord. Right? And what's the reason that they go? Does any brother know? What is the reason they go to and fro from the earth to the heavens, from the heavens back down to the earth? Why would they be doing that? John Levi. That ain't hard, y'all. Good.
Because they the messages of God.
Right. So what are they giving messages of to God? What are they giving them to God?
Like what's happening on the earth, like the times that we're in. There were.
Well, God knows the times we in, so you're partly right, but it's a specific thing. Gabriel, you had your spiritual finger up.
All right, shalom, leadership.
Shalom.
Recording your works, I believe.
Say it again.
Recording your works.
Recording your works. Exactly right. So they go to and fro from the earth to the heavens and give report on you back to God when he inquires of it. That's why a lot of times you can be, everything could be smooth sailing. You doing A-okay, and you in the midst of wickedness. You ain't quite right with God, and everything's all right. And then boom, out of nowhere, you're like, damn, where's all this trouble coming from? Your report just got up to God. It's only so long. That's why it says, surely your sin will find you out. It's only so long before the Lord says, give me a report on my daughter down there in South Florida. Give me a report on them. What is she doing? Well, Lord, they got the evil thoughts. She committed fornication. She's trying to hide it. She got hatred and envy up in her. Sometimes she be wearing pants. Oh, really? Okay, well, I won't judge her with death, but make this happen. Yeah, yeast infection. Give her the pregnant scare. Give her one of them STDs, but she can get a shot this time to get rid of it. Maybe she'll wake up after that. Those be the things where you get away with evil for a certain period of time, then your name comes up before God, and then you get judged. Here's some more proof of Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. I believe that's what it is.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8 and verse 11.
Y'all captains, y'all jump in, whatever. Go ahead.
Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore the sons of men is therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Because your name has not come up before the Lord at that certain period of time, but it eventually does come. And then you see those hard things happen in your life because now the judgment of God from your angel has been presented before him, because they go to and fro. Now I'm giving a precept in Matthew to show you that they are talking to God. Matthew chapter 18, and this verse 10.
Matthew chapter 18 and verse 10.
Don't forget why we're going. We're explaining the devil and Lucifer, but we're on angels right now.
Take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones. For I say unto you, that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of the Father which is in heaven.
Because they go up and down that ladder, reporting on you. And every so often your name gets called, and then the books are laid out. So let's go back to Job. So don't think you can get away with your evil, because your angel is always watching, and he's writing down thoughts as well. And the Lord is merciful, so he allows some stuff to pass because we're waiting on us to get ourselves together, to examine ourselves and realize our fault before he has to correct you himself. He's expecting you to correct yourself by listening, praying, and applying what is written and what is being taught to you. Read that now in verse 6 again.
Job chapter 1 verse 6. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them.
Why would Satan come also? What also is Satan? I can't turn it on. Make it right. What is Satan also? Mordecai.
Well, he's an angel too. Just
Okay,
not-
where does it tell us that? I got to fix these speakers, man. I need to hear myself. Yeah.
Well, Psalm 78. And,
Okay, it says
49.
evil angels, right?
Yeah, so that's what the devil. That's why the devil came up.
Okay,
there,
so
too.
he's an evil angel. Let's go to the one in Corinthians to show you. The 2 Corinthians chapter 10, right? I'm shooting from the hip. I don't know. I might be wrong.
The book of 2 Corinthians
Chapter 11,
chapter 11.
verse 14.
2 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 14. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light.
Jump back up to verse 13, and this is how he transformed himself, and this is who he works through. Verse 13.
Verse 13. For such are false apostles and deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Christ.
He worked through your Christian pastors. He transformed himself into an angel of light, working through your Christian pastors to deceive the children of Israel to go off into sin. So Satan is also an angel. Now we understand why he's allowed to go and stand before the Lord. Go back to Job 1 and 6.
Job chapter 1 and verse 6. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them.
Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it.
Just like all the regular angels do. The good angels, they go to and fro, up and down the ladder, right? The same thing Satan does, and the evil angels. They all got access to go to and fro, right? And whoever gives heed to Satan, then those angels inhabit them just like they did Judas, right? All right, so let's go to I want to go to Genesis. I don't make it too hard. Let's see. Genesis chapter where is he talking to Cain at, right?
Chapter 4.
Is that what I want? Oh, no. Let's see. Let's see where I'm at. Genesis chapter chapter 4, verse 7, right? Chapter 4, verse 7.
The book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 7.
Read verse 6 and 7.
Verse 6. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen?
Cain was a man. Go ahead.
If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him.
And thou shalt rule. If you're in the midst of sin, someone will rule over you. Right? Someone will rule over you. Someone will direct your ways. Right? To do certain things that are against God. That person would be who? Satan. The same way he did Judas. Now, when we look at the difference of Satan and Lucifer. So Satan is a spiritual being, right? And he inhabits people with all the rest of his angels to do his bidding to keep you. He's your adversary, and he works through a certain people. That if it says if you are in the midst of sin, his desire, it says, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. You will do what he tells you to do, right? Luke chapter 4. Luke chapter 4. You know what I want in there, right?
The book of Luke, chapter 4 and verse 4.
Yep.
And Jesus answered him, saying...
Hold on, let's see. Read verse 3.
Luke chapter 4, verse 3. And the devil said unto him, If thou be the Son of God, command this stone that it be made bread. And Jesus answered him, saying, It is written, that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word of God.
Read on.
And the devil, taking him up into an high mountain, showed unto him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time.
Now, because let's see, what's another name for who would have the power to show you all the kingdoms of the world at a moment in time? What's his name? Michael. Let's see who's following along. Satan, right. So it's just, devil's just another name for Satan, all right? Because devil means what? What does that mean? Well, just say it. Deceiver, right? All right, so it says he showed him all the kingdoms of the earth at a moment in time. Read on.
And the devil said unto him, All this power will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me. And to whomsoever I will, I give it.
Let's see who's thinking. Where did we read that exact verse? It said the same exact thing in a different verse. Verse 6. Read verse 6 again.
And the devil said unto him, All this power will I give thee, and the glory of them. And for that is delivered unto me. And to whomsoever I will, I give it.
Where did we read that exact same thing in a different wording? Okay, brother next to, what was your James, brother was? No, you. Yeah, I forgot your name. Say it again.
Matthew.
Okay.
7:10.
Oh, no, what's your name?
Junior.
Junior, that's what I knew it was a J. Where is it at, though? Where'd you say?
Matthew 4.
No, we didn't read that. We didn't read Matthew. We didn't read that. Darius. When the answer's given, make sure you write this next to Luke 4 and 6.
Genesis 4, verse 6, 7.
Genesis 4. Let's go back to it.
Genesis chapter 4 and verse 6.
There you go.
And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted?
If you do the commandments, you'll be fine. Read on.
And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him.
Go back to Luke chapter 4, verse 6 now.
Luke chapter 4.
It said, now remember, that's why I said, thou shalt rule over him. That's why I said that's Satan talking to, that's the Most High talking to Satan right there, that if he continues in this, he'll be yours to rule over. Here's the proof. Luke 4 and 6.
Luke chapter 4 and verse 6. And the devil said unto him, All this power will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me. And to whomsoever I will, I give it.
And thou shalt rule over him. That's the Most High talking to Satan back in Genesis 4 when it's dealing with Cain. Here's a proof. Read verse 7.
Verse 7. If thou therefore wilt worship me, all shall be thine.
Is worshiping another god, is that allowed or is that sin? What is it, brothers? There you go.
Question.
Go ahead.
So how did Cain worship Satan? Let's go with the young prophet Mordecai. How did Cain worship Satan?
Because God put in place already, thou shalt not kill your brother. But by worshiping Satan, he went against God and killed Abel.
There you go.
That's right. He killed his
right.
brother. That's
That
how he
brother's
worshiped
thinking.
Satan.
All praises. That young prophet sharp. That's right. Satan put that in his spirit, that envy and that hatred, and he followed after it, and eventually slayed his brother Abel. Now, let's read verse 6 and 7 again.
Luke chapter 4 and verse 6. And the devil said unto him, all this power will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me. And to whomsoever I will, I give it. If thou therefore wilt worship me, all shall be thine.
So Satan, or the devil that you got in here that you're talking about, he is a spiritual being that can grant you power to rule over the world if you so follow him. And you ain't gotta necessarily be you don't have to be I'm a Satan worshiper or a devil worshiper. All you gotta do is reject God and do what he tells you to do. And then he'll give you the understanding of how it's amazing how you know that Satan working with these people. The first flight took place when? When did the Wright brothers first fly a plane out of North Carolina? Hamur.
1903.
1903. When did those same people land on the moon in outer space?
1969.
66 years. They got the technology to go out of this world. Literally, that's what happened. Who in that? You got to have somebody behind you giving you that kind of understanding, because he's working through you. 66 years, they went from a flight that lasted 2 minutes, just hovering through the air, to a rocket that sent them out of the world in 66 years. In the same lifetime, y'all. That's amazing.
Esau has a movie. Not a movie, but it's a series coming out on how they got that power, how they got that understanding of going to the moon, how they get the calculation, the formula, and everything. It show you within the show. It's a whole series coming out real soon. I forgot the name of it. If you find it back there, post it up. But they show you how they dabbled in a cultist lifestyle. It was a rocket scientist. He wanted to go further. He had a vision.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I saw those episodes of the previews. Yeah,
the previews.
He dabbled in that witchcraft to allow the Satan to take over his body. Yep, I saw that. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, and let's read verse 3 on down quickly to show you.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
That man of sin is that man who allows Satan to rule over him, like we read in Genesis. If thou sin, thou shalt rule over him. So now Paul's about to explain who that man of sin is. Go ahead, keep reading. Verse 4.
Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, and that is worship, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
Go to Google, type in Jesus. Type in God. Go to Google, type in God. I did this for the first class, Deuteronomy 28:68 makes perfect sense, just common sense. Boom! Zoom in. Read it again. Read verse 4 again.
Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that
Leave the pictures up there. Go ahead.
all that is called God, or that is worship, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
Bible's a true book. Hold it. Keep that picture there. Now jump down to verse 9.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan.
Hold on. Paul said his coming's after what?
The working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders.
That was a true book, boy. Man. I be getting goosebumps when the Bible hit like that, man.
You know the word Satan means adverse.
Yep.
It's an what's the proper term?
Adversary.
Adverse. So it's going to teach you things contrary to the truth. So when they bring out their doctrines, it's contrary to what the Bible say. Their images is contrary to what the real image is. With the workings of Satan, is going to come with something that's adverse to the truth.
Now go ahead.
Here's the proof of what Captain Severus just said. Go to Matthew chapter 16. Go to Matthew chapter 16 and read verse 21.
Matthew chapter 16, verse 1, verse 21.
Read.
From that time forth began Jesus to show unto his disciples how that he must go unto Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed and be raised again the third day.
Read on.
Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, Be it far from thee, Lord, that this shall not be unto thee.
So Peter was becoming an adversary to the truth that Christ had to die and be raised on the third day for the nation of Israel, right? Watch what Christ say, read.
But he turned and said unto Peter, Get thee behind me, Satan.
What did Christ call Peter?
Get thee behind me, Satan.
Read on.
Thou art an offense unto me.
Read.
For thou savorest not the things that be of God, but those that be of men.
Because Peter was going against what Christ was saying. Christ was prophesying, hey, I'm going to go, I'm going to die, I'm going to be raised up the third day. And Peter was saying, no, don't do that. You're going to be all right. I'm going to protect you. I'm going to save you. Christ called Peter the damn devil. Get behind me, Satan.
That's a good point. Because Christ knew that wasn't Peter talking. That's why he said, get behind me, Peter. What you talking about, Peter? He said, get behind me, Satan. Same thing going back into Genesis. So here's some more proof. 1 John chapter 3. 1 John chapter 3. I want to read 8 through 10 quickly.
1 John chapter 3, verse 8. He that committeth sin is of the devil, for the devil sinneth from the beginning. For this purpose.
So look at this. It says he sinneth from the beginning, right? Sins from the beginning. Read on.
For this purpose the Son of God was manifested, that he might destroy the works of the devil. Whosoever is born of God doth not commit sin.
You don't commit sin willingly. Go ahead.
For his seed remaineth in him, and he cannot sin because he is born of God. In this the children of God are manifest, and the children of the devil.
The who?
The children of the devil.
The children of Satan. They manifest. Read on.
Whosoever doeth not righteousness is not of God, neither he that loveth not his brother.
So it says the children of Satan, of the devil, they are made manifest. They do not the righteousness of God. All right. Go to Isaiah 14. So God's telling you Satan has kids on the earth, and those that sin, he rules over them. Isaiah 14, right? And let's read verse 12 on down.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 12.
So we dealt Satan is a spiritual demon that can give power to whomever follows him in whatsoever way, as long as you are adverse to God. Read that.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, the son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?
Didst weaken the nations. Lucifer is light bearer, and he weakened the nations, right? Read on.
For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God.
Stop. What did we talk about earlier? Where it says that I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. Hamul, let's see what you got. Give me dates.
Space travel, 1969.
There you go. And it first started when?
1903.
There you go.
With the
Wright brothers in North Carolina. 66 years later, he's in space. Because this is what he said in his spirit. Because he had who working behind him, brothers? There you go.
Hey, and now, even today, what Esau doing?
Oh.
Creating a space force.
How many of y'all watched FCN this past Thursday by show of hands?
Now they trying to fight in space. Fight who? That's the question. That's the question.
Man, it's heavy, man. You might as well pull it up. Pull it up.
Here we go.
Pull up Trump Space Force. Oh, there we go.
My brother in the spirit back there.
Good.
All praises.
You gotta zoom in some for us. Whoa, it's light. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in.
United States Space Force.
United States Space, man.
Somebody put.
Hey, man. So you asked who Lucifer was. What's the difference between the devil and Lucifer? Devil, the Satan, is a spiritual demon. Lucifer, we're going to show you who he is and who his children are. Go back to it. Read that for us.
Space Force was signed into law December 20th, 2019 as part of the 2020 National Defense Authorization Act. Spaceforce.mil went live shortly thereafter.
Wow. Got a website. Go ahead.
On June 18, 2018, President Donald Trump directed the Pentagon to begin planning for a Space Force, a sixth independent military service branch to undertake missions and operations in the rapidly evolving space domain. The U.S. Space Force would be the first new military service in more than 70 years, allowing the establishment of the U.S. Air Force following the establishment of the U.S. Air Force in 1947.
Hold on. So is that a commercial? It says introducing U.S. Space Force. Let's play it and see what that is. Maybe it's a commercial.
Pause it. Right there. Right there. Stop right there.
Bring it out.
Protect. Go back up.
Yeah.
Protects and defends. What are you protecting? What from what?
Yeah. U.S. and allied space assets.
What are you defending? What? Defending from what?
Hey, Cap.
You must know something that you're not telling.
Right.
Something is on the way. Something is coming that you trying to prepare for in space.
Right.
Damn.
Heavy.
It's about to go down, y'all.
What was you gonna say, Officer Judah?
I was gonna say that there's a video that's out where right now the United States has full control over what we know as the global positioning system, right? GPS. So there's right now a technological race that China is also trying to get a part of that as well. So that's also another reason why they're setting up this space force, because they really don't want a country like China to set up their own GPS, because then it would eliminate the monopoly that the United States has.
Hey, you know what? You know what though?
Russia has the same thing. They've been established. But the thing is, what's crazy is they would name the people that they're trying to defend against.
Right.
There we go.
That's the whole point. I know that was a thought that might be in the minds of the people. That, oh, we're trying to protect ourselves against our... They would name who they had problems with.
Exactly.
U.S. doesn't have a problem of naming who they got beef with.
Right.
That's the whole thing right there. What you're seeing is they're trying to still keep you in the dark. Because remember, America is known for keeping the people in the dark.
Right.
So they're doing it again. Even in space, they're letting you know, because they back in the 40s when they had problems with Russia, they didn't have no problem dropping Russia.
Yeah, dropping
They
names,
even
yeah.
drew cartoons, put it in the cartoons. They was making newspapers
propaganda
against their enemies. So likewise, what you're seeing now is going on again.
Yeah. When it comes to this space thing, they all in cahoots together.
Right.
They all on one accord because they know this is outside of us. When you talk about space, you talk, okay, now it's whoever's in space against whoever's on the earth.
Right.
That's why they all together in this, man. They all together.
Go back to Isaiah now, 14, and let's read verse 13 again.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north.
Okay, so let's see who the congregation is. What is that? Exodus 12.
Exodus chapter 12 and verse 47.
Yep.
The book of Exodus, chapter 12 and verse 47.
So Lucifer said, I'm going to be in the heavens above the stars, and I will sit on the congregation. Go ahead.
All the congregation of Israel shall keep it.
Read it again.
All the congregation of Israel shall keep it.
So give me some attributes what of you sitting on top of somebody. What kind of position does that put you in? Let's see. Going back to Isaiah 14:13, it says, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. What kind of position are you in, Michael?
In rulership?
In rulership, right. You on top of somebody, pinning them down. What's another word if you're on top of somebody, keeping them down? Hamor.
Has called oppression.
Oppression. I will oppress Israel in the north. What country are you in, brothers? What's it called?
North America.
North America. All right. Read that again. I will sit also upon the what?
I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell.
Okay, so let me show you this where it talks about I will be like the Most High. Give me that precept in Psalms about the clouds. Anybody get it? Tell me where it is. Yep.
Psalms 103.
Let's see. Yep. Psalm. Yep. 104, and let's read verse 3.
The book of Psalms, chapter 104, verse 3. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind.
Who walks upon the wings of the wind. That's flying. Here's another precept for it. Go to Second Esdras. Second Esdras. Let's show you about what Christ is going to do. Second Esdras chapter 13. All right. And I want to read, subdue the man that came out of it.
Verse 32.
Okay, let's read that.
Second Ezra chapter 13, verse 32. And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen which I showed thee before. And then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest, as a man ascending.
Ascending. He's flying in the air. Right? Go back over. Here's the proof of it. Jump up to verse 5.
Verse 5, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men,
all nations,
out of number, from the four winds of the heaven, to subdue the men that came out of the sea.
They came where?
Out of the sea.
Now, when Christ comes back, is he coming up out of the water in the ocean? Where's he coming from? He coming from the sky. Let's let you know. We talk about the firmaments of the waters separating from the other waters. That's talking about the heavens, what you know is space. There's water out there that's of another world that you can't see. And he's coming out of that, ascending, meaning he's flying around. So going back to Isaiah chapter 14.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 14. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds.
So so it's the same word, right? So we know he's flying above the clouds. Christ is going to fly above the clouds. Go ahead.
I will be like the Most High.
That's how he's going to be like God. And that's where you get your plane traveling and all that stuff from your spaceships. I'm going to do what God does. So I'm going to put a rocket behind me. Go ahead.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
So you see how right after he starts to do this flying, right, this space traveling, God says, I'm going to bring you down. So don't take lightly that Trump, go back, see if you can find the budget, Trump's Space Force budget. Don't take lightly that it just got signed into law, the 6th branch of the military Space Force. Don't take that lightly, because immediately the prophecy says, immediately after that says, thou shalt be brought down to hell, meaning destruction. Pull it up if you can. Trump Space Force budget.
Cap, you know,
there we go. Zoom in on that title.
And you know what's crafty about this whole administration? The media pushes all this impeachment, every news channel, impeachment. And if you notice, December 20th, these things are signing to law. Yeah. 738 million signed
billion,
off.
That's billion.
Billion signed off. But no media coverage push on it, but it's just...
Not one.
Just silently.
Not one at all. I didn't see that at all. Didn't hear about it.
Yeah, not one commercial on TV, right. Not on your CNNs and nothing. This was done behind the scenes while the media's pushing impeachment. He's signing deals to better America.
Right. Signed a
Pull it down.
$738 billion, yet Flint, Michigan still don't have clean water.
Wow.
They don't have enough money.
And check this.
Damn.
About that $738 billion. That is the largest sum of money ever given to the military defense budget ever.
That let you know what they putting their focus on, right?
Yeah, it's real serious because it's about to go down. Hold on, okay. I want to bring something out. Go back to verse 12, because I want you brothers, when you take your time to read chapter 14, Isaiah is basically giving you time. He's showing you, listen, we won. Right, so he's giving you time. So make sure you take that into consideration. Verse 12.
Isaiah 14, verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
Heaven meaning rulership. O Lucifer. Lucifer means what, brothers? Anybody know? Did we bring that out? Okay, stand up. Lucifer means what?
Shalom, leadership. It means bright and morning star.
Okay, somebody else. Let me go to the back row back there. Real quick. Yeah. With the glasses. Real quick. Do you know?
Swarm of flies. Swarm of flies.
No. Behind you. Right behind you. No. Pass the mic right behind you.
That's Beelzebub.
Yeah.
Shalom, leadership.
Can't hear you.
The supreme evil being.
No. Okay. Last one, Solomon. Last one.
Is son of the morning?
Oh, no. Okay, I'll just give it to you. Light bearer. Light bearer. You said that? Light bearer. So Lucifer means light bearer. So remember now, Isaiah is giving you history. Somebody bring up the Statue of Liberty. The torch bearer.
Because he asked, what does Lucifer mean, not who they say he is.
Exactly.
You gave us who they say he is. What does the word mean?
It means light bearer. So write that down. Light bearer.
Hey, so Isaiah is starting at the end.
There you go. He's letting you
starting
know
at the end.
we won.
Right.
When you read all of verse 12, read all of it real quick. Read all of it, then bring up the visual.
Isaiah 14, verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?
So you got to understand, we was the first lyricists on the planet. It was, damn, homie, you used to be the what? Man, homie, what happened to you? That's exactly what Isaiah is doing right there. He sees it in the vision. He's breaking it down through time. He's taking you through time. We won already. And he's gloating over our oppressor. Okay? That's all I wanted to bring out. But bring out that visual. You got it? That light bearer. Here you go. When you bring up torch, look up torch bearer, which means the same thing. That's what it is. This is what Isaiah sees in his vision. Okay, this is what he's prophesying about.
Hey, go to I'm gonna show you. Type where you at. Stay on Google and go to all, and just type in Lucifer. And I want to go to Wikipedia. It says it at the bottom of it. Nope, that's the TV series. That's crazy if you ever watched it. You gotta type in Lucifer Wikipedia, cause they go straight to the show. Yep. It portrays itself as Esau, don't it?
Yep.
Right there. Oh, Lucifer. What does that mean? See the word, the root word of it. Highlight Lucifer right there.
Light bringer.
So highlight it all so they can see it. Right there. So the actual word Lucifer means light bringing. And when this is how he knows it's all spiritual, that somebody's working behind them, but the prophecies of the Lord are being fulfilled. When they was first established in America, and they made that Statue of Liberty, they said America is the what? It's the what of the world? It's the light of the world. All come here. That's why it's up there. Who knows what the first Statue of Liberty was, and they sent it back? Who knows? Abiyah. They sit there. Hold on, microphone coming. What was it?
It was a statue of a slave woman.
Yep. Hey, see if you can find that for us. The original Statue of Liberty, black woman. It was a slave woman that had broken the chains of her arms, symbolizing freedom. It was made by a Frenchman. When you do the research on it, there you go. That was it. They set that thing back like, nah, sit that back. Send that thing back. It don't fit the prophecy. It don't fit the prophecy of who we talking about. Send it back. And then go back to the other one. Send us that one.
Hey, I was thinking the same thing, Evident. That's a man.
That right there?
That's a man, right?
Oh, I don't know.
There's got to be a man in the.
Yeah, it used to be Apollo.
I don't know how they get down, man.
That's some homosexual stuff. That's transgender back then.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Hey, what is that? The crown. Let's see what that crown mean. You know what it mean? The crown on the head with the thing. Get a microphone. I know it go back to some Greek gods.
Yeah, that statue actually, when you look up Sol Invictus, is going to show you the same exact
So let's
thing.
look it up. Sol Invictus, which goes back into what? Light. Dang, this is wow. Sun god. That's right. It was Sol Invictus, the sun god. That's where they get December 25th from.
Man, these scriptures ain't no joke, man.
These the chambers of hell we going through right here.
Right.
No, all this information, peel back all these layers.
Sol Invictus.
Go to Wikipedia, officer.
Go to all. You got to go to all. Yeah.
Wikipedia. Okay.
Go up to the first one. Oh, okay. That's Pinterest.
Sol Invictus.
You can back out. Back out. Wikipedia. Let's see. No, not the band. Lord. Bless his heart.
It's gonna be all right. The brother from New
you know
York,
how they
y'all.
do, man.
Brother from New York.
I got Sol Invictus, unconquered sun. Light.
Look at that. Was the official sun god of the later Roman Empire, and a patron of soldiers.
Scroll down. Let's see if they got any other images.
This place is Rome, y'all. This place is Rome.
Oh, boom! There it go. Dang. That's a man.
right there.
Yep.
Dedication made by a priest of Jupiter Delachinas on behalf of the well-being Salus
of the emperors to Sol Invictus and the genius of the military unit Equites.
So all go hand in hand.
Wow. Let's go back to the scripts.
Unconquered, invincible.
Unconquered
That's that
son.
pride.
That's that pride. Who shall bring me down to the ground?
Damn.
Man. Go back to it. Let's go. What was that? Isaiah 14.
Isaiah chapter 14.
Read 14 and 15.
Verse 14. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
That's in they planes and space travel. Go ahead.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
There and then will I destroy you. Go ahead.
They that see thee.
Now here's the difference. What they're talking about: Satan, the devil, and actual Lucifer. Nobody has actually seen Satan. You don't know what Esau does in their imagination. What do they do? What do they say Satan looks like? He got what? He got horns and a pitchfork and a tail and all of that. Nobody has seen him. So this is how you know Lucifer and Satan are not actually the same person. Satan works through this person to be Lucifer, the light bearer. It says, they that see thee. So it's a person. Read on.
They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man?
Lucifer is a man that did what?
That made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms.
How does this man shake kingdoms? I need a precept too. Okay, we got one here. Abiyah. How does he shake kingdoms?
War.
War? Okay. Hey, pull up nuclear bomb effects. It's nuclear bomb. It's bombs, right? Finish it. I said he shake kingdoms, verse 17.
That made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof.
Go to the videos. Click on videos right there. Videos. We got Sal.
Greatest misconceptions about nuclear bombs is that they instantly annihilate everything in sight. But the fallout from a nuclear blast actually has layers. For the sake of example, imagine a 10 kiloton nuclear bomb goes off in Times Square. The moment it detonates, a white flash is visible for miles. The light is so bright that, for a moment, people as far away as Queens and Newark can't see. At the same time, scorching heat radiates outward from the explosion site, followed by a massive fireball. The core of the fireball is tens of millions of degrees, as hot as the center of the sun. There are few survivors within a half-mile radius of the blast.
They don't know that.
Buildings and vegetation in that same range ignite or char. The bomb disrupts gas lines, burns structures and power lines, and knocks out communication towers and cell phones within about 1.6 miles.
Flying glass and debris are immediate danger, so stay where you are until you're sure it's safe to move.
A colossal wave of pressure follows the fireball, traveling at the speed of sound and producing winds as fast as 500 miles per hour.
Wow!
All told, the explosion creates a crater 50 feet deep and a shockwave of about 3.2 miles, reaching south to Gramercy Park, north to the Met, and east and west into the Hudson.
That's one.
Residual pressure shatters windows, and piles of rubble as tall as 30 feet tower within a half-mile radius of Times Square. This has all happened in a matter of seconds.
Wow.
Meanwhile, in the days and hours after the initial explosion, a plume of fallout travels in a single direction away from the blast.
So you can understand in Revelation where it says, in 1 hour shall the place be destroyed. She just said everything that she went through happens in a matter of seconds. So that's one bomb. If you've got multiple hitting at the same time, it's done. The whole continent done in an hour.
Hey, and that's one bomb from back then.
Yeah.
Right. They ain't, you know what I'm saying? They can't estimate the stuff. Think about it, Cap. If they can go into space, just imagine the type of nukes they got today. Just imagine.
Yeah, those are atom bombs.
Didn't they create a bomb they called Satan? Or?
Yeah, Russia got a bomb called Satan 2. Yeah. Go back to it.
And in Cap too, they actually have on those missiles, like Officer just mentioned, they have nuclear warheads. Some of them have up to like 24 nuclear warheads in them.
Look how big that bomb is, man. Click on the first one. Go ahead.
Each one of those has a destructive level of what she mentioned, 50 million kilotons, which equals to 50 million tons of TNT.
Look how big that damn bomb is. Who makes a bomb that big?
And it can go so fast where they ain't gonna be able to shoot it down.
Right. What you brought out one time, you said it take 30 minutes to get from one side of the earth to the other.
Yeah.
And just imagine if they say it's on its way and then everybody hits 95.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Done.
That's it.
But even
you'll
if
be dead before you finish watching BET Wives. What is it?
Housewives.
Housewives. You'll be dead before you finish watching it.
But even if you were to escape it from one city, the size of the blast on top of it will catch you. On top of the fact that it's not just going to be one nuclear warhead. They're like one missile delivers like up to 20 nuclear warheads.
That's crazy, man. All right, let's go back to the script. Read verse 16 again.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness?
Y'all seen what she talked about, the bombs, the debris, all of that stuff within a half-mile radius with just one, and then the fallout for it, that's making the world a wilderness. Go ahead.
And destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with the sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden underfoot.
So the Lord's let you know that the main people on his hit list is Lucifer, the light bearers, with all the signs that point to it.
Right.
That everybody else gonna be all right. They go into captivity. You getting wiped off the face of the earth.
Right. You got to go.
You got to. It's gonna prove it. Jump down to verse 21.
Verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers.
So you gotta pay for what your forefathers did. The same way we are paying for what our forefathers did on this side of the earth. The same thing has to happen to them. Go ahead.
That they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name, and remnant, and son, and nephew, saith the Lord.
This is how you know it's not talking about ancient Babylon. Because who's Babylon today? What part of the earth is that right now? Who knows? Abel. This is how you know it didn't cut off. It said son. It said the remnant, the son, the nephew. Where's that at today? What part of the earth? That's Iraq. Is it people still living in Iraq, Abel?
Yes, sir.
So it's people still living in the ancient Babylon. It's people still there. The actual people that used to live in Babylon, the Mesopotamia, all they did was run into where? Who knows where they ran to? Where they at right now? Who are the Babylonians today? Who are they? Lord. All right. Okay. As a 9, where they at? Save the day for the brothers. It ain't hard.
Babylon is the modern day name for Iraq.
He just said. I said, who's the people? Who the people?
The Babylonians. Modern name. Iranian. What?
No.
I got confused.
Give it to Sirach.
The Ethiopians.
The real Ethiopians. The real ones. Those are the Babylonians. So those you Benjamites, you Haile Selassie worshipers. He's a descendant of Nebuchadnezzar.
Right.
That's who he is. He was a Babylonian. But he said he's going to cut them off. So that ain't talking about ancient. That's talking about modern Babylon that will be cut off. Go ahead, Kev. You got something?
Hey, watch this, y'all. Get Matthew chapter 24 and 5. Watch this real quick. We're gonna show where we at. We're going to show where we at in prophecy. We're going to show y'all where we at in prophecy. Just how serious we should take our calling. Watch this. Get Matthew chapter 5 and start from verse 3. Got to read quick. I'm sorry, 24 and 3.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 3.
Come on.
And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming?
What shall be the sign of Christ's return?
And of the end of the world?
At the end of this world and the beginning of the new one, which is under Christ. Read.
And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you.
Watch this.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many.
Brothers, did that happen? Many came in Christ's name. Esau. That's why they put up as God as a white man, Christ as a white man. That happened. Read on.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Brothers, is that happening? That's happening every day. Read.
See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet.
Come on.
For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom.
Read.
And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places.
We had World Wars 1, 2, the Persian and Iraq war. Nations against nations, kingdom against kingdom. There's famines, there's pestilence, earthquakes all over the world. Brothers, is that happening? Okay, read on.
All these are the beginning of sorrows.
All these are the beginning. Watch verse 9.
Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted.
Brothers, is that happening? That's hell, Bishop did a whole class last week on it, on what's beginning to happen. Read on.
And shall kill you. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
We are hated. Read on.
And then shall many be offended and shall betray one another.
Is that happening? You better believe it. Keep reading.
And shall hate one another.
Watch this.
And many false prophets shall rise and deceive many. And shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
That's happening. That's why our own people is kidnapping our sisters.
Right.
Love of many shall wax cold. Read on.
But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
Watch verse 14.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations.
Brothers, is that happening? Hell yeah, that's happening. Bishop just came from Africa. We all over the world teaching. Read on.
And then shall the end come.
So name me one of those prophecies that was going to happen before the end that did not come to pass yet. They all came to pass. They all happening. So what's the next step? The end will come.
That's right.
We at the very end, y'all. Watch this. Get 2 Peter's. We at the very end of this train ride.
And you know the thing where you constantly got to examine yourself about the end coming. You don't know how fast it can end.
Telling you.
He said these are the beginning of sorrows, but it could turn around and be that's the end, just like that. It's over.
Gone.
You thought you had time. You was chilling. You was relaxing. The Lord know my heart. Give me a few more times to sin and get it in.
Right. Yep.
It's over.
It's over. The signs are there. It's just like, I was going to say, like a woman in travail. Yeah. It's only so long a woman can push that baby out. Eventually, she gonna give birth. Get 2 Peter's chapter 1.
Chapter 1?
And read verse 10.
2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 10.
Come on.
Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, you shall never fall.
Why do we have to give diligence to make our calling and election sure, brothers? Why? What does it mean to give diligence to make your calling and election sure? Officer Daniel. Why?
Because the righteous will scarcely make it. So knowing that, meaning righteous we know is the man that keeps God's laws. I mean, you got to examine yourself 10 times over, knowing that they would scarcely make the kingdom.
Okay. What else? Brother right here. Reuben? Stand up, brother.
The scriptures say that the way of the wicked seduces. So we would get seduced if we're not being diligent about watching.
Okay. Seduced by who?
By the wicked.
Okay.
Meaning the white man.
Pass it back. Pass it back. You're not wrong, brother. I just want to know. I just want to hear what y'all got to say.
We gotta be.
Yeah, you do. We do. Oh, okay. Hey, I'm gonna flip it. Go ahead.
We gotta be diligent because you don't know when Christ's gonna come back. So we gotta always be on our P's and Q's and be on point for when he do come back, we can be ready.
Okay, give me somebody else. Oh, we got one more.
We got to give diligence because the atomic bombs is going to be over within an hour. It's going to come fast.
Okay, watch this. Give me Romans 12 and 18. Watch this. I'm going to show you something. Get Romans 12 and 18. Watch this.
The book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 18.
I was thinking about this the other day. Read that.
If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men.
Brothers, we all know. Who's that talking about? Who's that talking about? Say it. Just say it out loud. Who's that talking about? Wrong. We always say that. We always say, oh, that's Esau. Well, what about your brothers in here? What about live peaceably with your sisters in here? We always read that. We say, oh, that's Esau. That's Esau.
What about live peaceably with your husband?
Right, with your husband.
Hold up. Jump up to verse 10.
Your wife.
Verse 10.
Jump up to
Verse 10. Be kindly affectionate one to another.
You see?
With brotherly love.
There you go.
In honor, preferring one another.
Preferring one another. There you go.
We always say that, oh, that's Esau. But what about the person you laying next to? Go back to Peter's, man. I knew I was going to get y'all.
First Peter's.
When Bishop brought it out last week, I said, dang, I read the chapter. I said, dang, we always blame Esau for everything. Right. We blame the white man for everything. I got fired today. Oh, the white man, the oppressor. Well, brother, you've been showing up late every day. Showing up late to work. If I wasn't oppressed, slavery. Brother, how's work? Slavery. Well, damn, brother, how you gonna pay your bills then? Slavery.
2 Peter's chapter 1 and verse 10.
Start up. Start up at verse 7. If y'all didn't know, this is Officer Abinad's favorite chapter. Oh, praises. Read verse 7. Come on.
Start at 7?
Yeah.
And to godliness, brotherly kindness. And to brotherly kindness, charity.
Read on.
For if these things be in you and abound.
If these things be in you, we could have started up, but we ain't going to start up. We're going to keep it going. Talk about temperance, knowledge, patience, godliness,
faith.
Brotherly kindness, faith, charity. If these things be in you, come on.
For if these things be in you and abound, they make you that ye shall neither be barren nor unfruitful in the knowledge of our Lord Jesus Christ.
So if you got all these things, these prophecies will make great sense. Keeping the commandments will make perfect sense to you. Read on.
But he that lacketh these things,
he that lacketh those things,
is blind, and cannot see afar off.
Watch this.
And hath forgotten that he was purged from his old sin.
What does that mean, brothers? What does that mean? Brothers, raise some officers, soldiers. Where we at? What does that mean? Ephraim.
You fall back into the old sins that you once were in.
Okay. Anybody else? Matthias. Right. Yeah, stand up.
You basically forget the basic precepts. The spirit leave you.
Okay, so what? That's a good question, officer. Why? How would you fall back into those old sins?
Because you'll
Not
be
how.
How would you? Because you'll go back to doing the old things that you used to do.
How? What's some ways that could tempt you to fall back into the old ways? What's some ways that could tempt you to fall back?
Oh, like for example, whatever you dealing with, like let's say if you're dealing with lust or something like that, you used to go to start looking at porn and then doing these things. If you're dealing with reveling, start going to look. You'll start going out clubbing and doing smoking.
Brothers, just use the words in the Bible.
Sit down. Give it to the next brother next to you. I know you did it right.
Make sure y'all stand up so you know who y'all are.
By not giving diligence.
Okay, but not giving diligence to what?
To the ministry.
That brother went TD Jakes on us, y'all. To the ministry. Hey! Oh, Jesus. Give it to the soldier right here.
Hey, let everybody know who you are.
Soldier Hand 9, Toronto. Being a reprobate, bad judgment.
Okay.
Use the words of the Bible.
Yeah,
Abel.
Time of leisure.
Okay. Give it to what's his? I forget. Elijah. Moses' big brother, y'all. If y'all didn't know, this is Moses' big brother. He used to spank him back in the day.
All praises. Shalom, leadership. Lack of discipline. Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 5.
Okay.
Okay,
We
brothers.
gotta use
The answer is right in the same chapter. Who's that? Did somebody raise their hand in the back? Raise your hand. Who's that? Stand up. We can't see you. We cannot see you. Okay, Alfred. There you go. Pop your head up. There you go.
Shalom, leadership.
Shalom.
By not making sure election.
Go ahead, man. You gotta give it to
Read
him.
verse
We'll be here
10
all day.
again.
Yeah, go ahead.
Read verse 10.
Wherefore the rather, for 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 10. Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, you shall never fall.
Do what things that you shall never fall? Because when you fall, you lack diligence, you lack patience, you lack faith, you lack temperance, you lack godliness, you lack charity, you lack brotherly love. One of these qualities you missing. That's why you falling. It's one of these qualities that you don't have in you is why you fall. God just gave you the blueprint. If you have all these qualities, you will be fruitful. But if you lack one of these qualities, you will fall.
Right. Now here's the next question. Knowledge, it says in verse 5, besides this giving all diligence, add to your faith, virtue, knowledge. Verse 6, knowledge, temperance, patience, godliness, and godliness, brotherly kindness, and the brotherly kindness, charity. Where are all those things exhibited most in an Israelite's life?
Hey, you deep, bro. You deep. All praises. All praise to the Most High. I'm about to. Where are all those things found most in the Israelites' life? Hamul. Yeah. Hamul. Where's those found?
Marriage.
Ooh. You're right. You are absolutely right. Now, when we lack those things in a marriage, what happens to that marriage? Hamul, stand up.
Your house is torn apart and you fall.
You fall. Okay. Somebody else. Never mind. Michael, you married, right? All the married. Stop. Sit down. All the married brothers, raise your hand. Who that? Michael? You want Michael? Okay, go ahead, Michael. Raise your hand. Stand up and let us know.
Divorce.
Damn. Oh my goodness. Brother, we got to talk to you after. We got to talk to you after 7, bro.
Don't look over there, bro.
Hey.
You are bound by the law, man. That ain't even an option.
Right. Brother said, and he said with a smile, divorce. Hey, matter of fact, let's get that real quick. So that we understand there ain't no doggone divorce in Israel.
Matthew.
Let's get that real quick. That brother said divorce.
Matthew chapter 19.
Showed all his teeth. Brother, I know if you missing a teeth next week, I know who did it.
Oh. Matthew chapter 19, verse 9.
Go ahead, bro. Bring it out.
And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication.
Except it be for adultery.
And shall marry another
except it be for adultery. Except it be for adultery. The only way you can put your wife away is if she commits adultery on you, brother. All right, you understand that? So arguments and give me some bickerings and cussing each other out what's the word? It ain't grounds for divorce. That's Esau's, that's Lucifer way of life. You don't like a divorcer, go spend thousands of dollars on a lawyer to only spend more thousands of dollars in child support and more thousands of dollars of alimony and more thousands of dollars. Nah, God
said you gotta work that thing out.
Yeah, you gotta work it out.
Adam couldn't put away Eve after she made all mankind fall.
Hey,
he had to deal with her.
So we all died through her, and Adam still stuck with her, made more babies with her.
Hey, Cap.
Still loved her right.
He knew his wife right after that, didn't he? Yep. Seth.
Yep. Still, you know.
Hey, Cap.
He wasn't that mad. hey, husbands, though, if you mad, it ain't no. Nah, I don't even want to look at you right now. I was sleeping on the couch until that time.
You want that trouble in the flesh, Cap?
Till you can't fight no more.
Right.
You husbands know what I'm talking about.
Humble real quick.
Yeah, all praises. Where we at, officer?
You want the trouble in the flesh, or you want to just keep?
Yeah, read that.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 28.
Come on.
But, and if thou marry, thou hast not sinned. And if a virgin marry, she hath not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh.
Go ahead.
But I spare you.
Such shall have trouble in the flesh. That trouble in the flesh could be your arguments, could be a burnt meal. Brothers know what I'm talking about. A different seasoning.
No seasoning.
I'm not gonna say no names. What'd you say? Changing the diet? Oh, you mad because your wife trying to get you to eat healthy? That ain't troubles in the flesh, brother.
Charity. That's charity.
Yeah, that's charity. That's love. This brother taught some change of diet. Get Ephesians.
Buying almond milk.
Say almond milk. Almond milk is troubles in the flesh.
Oh, man.
Get Ephesians chapter 5.
Ephesians chapter 5.
And read verse 22.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands.
Come on.
As unto the Lord.
As unto the Lord.
For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the Savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church.
Watch this.
And gave himself for it.
Watch verse 26.
That he might.
That he. Who's the he, brothers? Who's the he, brothers? You're the husband. That he, read on,
might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word.
So, wives, if your husband is going off, he out the spirit. Brothers, I'll say brothers. I don't want to call on those wives and single sisters, and they feel, they don't know. Brothers, let me see who's me. Paul, stand up. Paul, stand up. Yeah, you look right at me. Look me right in the eye. Hey, that's the Lord. You look me right in my eye. You should have did one of these. Hey, brothers do this right here. Brothers do that. They don't want to get called on. You out the spirit, right? You out the spirit. You don't feel like coming to the Sabbath no more. You don't feel like keeping God's laws is irrelevant anymore. God forbid. God forbid. What do you expect your wife to do?
I expect my wife to win me over by her coming to the Sabbath and her keeping the laws, and then I can get back in the spirit.
Okay, sit down. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Paul. Let me see. Who else is married? Daniel. Give it to Daniel. He tried to eat his ice. You out the spirit, Daniel. You tell your wife, I don't want to go to the Sabbath no more. The hell with them niggas in purple. What do you expect your wife to do?
Follow the scriptures. If I'm an unbeliever, If I'm an unbeliever, that means she gotta separate me.
Stop.
From
Sit down.
time.
Sit down. Sit down. Okay. Let me see. Pagiel, stand up. No. Stop. I gotta ask the question. Stop. Daniel. Stop. Relax. It's okay. It's all right, man. This is a learning process. All right. This is a learning process. Officer Pagiel, you look good, by the way. You losing weight. All praises. So I know that brother wife ain't giving him no problems. All praises. All praises on side. You out in the spirit, Pagiel.
Right.
Pagiel says, I ain't going to the Sabbath no more. The hell with Broward region.
And give him back this purple shirt while you at it.
Yeah, I don't want it. Cut all my fringes off. Go buy some shrimp from Publix. I'm gaining all this weight back. The hell with it. What? God forbid. What do you expect your wife to do, Pagiel?
I expect my wife to correct me.
How?
With the scriptures. And encourage me to, no, you can't give up. Like, she got to lift me up.
So, see, that's a good answer. Sit down. How much time we got, Cap? We got 10 minutes. Let me call on one more brother.
Husband, raise your hand.
No, I don't want you. I don't want Zion. I know Zion. I know the answer. That brother Levi. Who? Manasseh? Well, all right, Manasseh. Levi cut from a different cloth when it comes to marriage. Manasseh, you out the spirit? You just got done eating what is it? A po' boy.
Oh.
A po' boy from Popeyes. You tell y'all know the po' boy is, right? Shrimp. What's that? Shrimp? A shrimp sandwich? Yeah, you from Kentucky. You don't know nothing about that. That's some Southern Judite stuff. You got to eat some chitlins. You know what chitlins is. Yeah, you North Judah. All praises. So what? Some chicharron? You tell your wife, the hell with the niggers. The hell with the Sabbath day. The Sabbath day is every day. We gonna eat oxtail for Passover.
So, and while you at it, tell Captain Gad to kiss my gluteus maximus.
What do you expect your wife to do?
I expect her to inform one of the brothers that I deal with and try to.
Hey, this brother. Hey, I like that answer. Say that again.
For her to tell one of the brothers that I congregate with, and to tell them to get leadership to help me out.
Oh, brother, that's a dang good answer. So you expect your wife to come to leadership so that you can get help.
Yes.
That's a good answer. So if your wife ain't doing that, your wife showing up to the Sabbath happy as, just smiling all over the place, knowing that her husband got the devil on him. What is that?
She does not love me.
Oh. Damn. That's right. Damn. Say it again, brother. Say it again.
Oh, my God.
She does not love me.
Damn. So you saying you out the spirit, your wife come to the Sabbath, and she just smiling ear to ear. Ain't coming to no leadership to ask for help. She don't what?
She don't love me.
Oh, damn. You just cut a lot of people, bro.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. All right, brother, sit down. Sit down. Yeah, that's it. That's it. There should be no reason. Hold on. Listen up. Quiet down. Sisters, if your husband is out the spirit, he don't want to keep the laws anymore. You are not to, what's the word I'm looking for? You are not to joy in that moment. You are not to come to the Sabbath every Sabbath and just be happy as all outdoors. Something is wrong with you. Something is not right. If you are happy that your husband is out the spirit so that maybe you can look better than what you is, you got the devil on you.
You should be in counsel. Every Sabbath, you get an opportunity. You should be counseling. What things can I do? You should be getting pointers on what can I do to convince this brother to win him back over for Christ. That's where you should be.
Isaiah 32. Let's read 9 through 11 real quick. Headquarters. Watch out for headquarters. You got it up for us? Okay. Isaiah 32, read 9 through 11.
Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones.
So he's saying you keep repeating it. Ye careless ones, right? Read on.
Strip you, make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins.
When you put sackcloth on, what did that represent? Matthias.
Remorse, repentance.
Remorse, repentance. If you in that situation, your husband's not in here, your face should be having sackcloth and ashes upon it. We see like,
hey,
I'm not right. I'm not all the way right.
That's your completion.
Right.
You come from him. He don't come from you. Ain't no way leadership should be more worried about your husband than you are.
Right.
Or your wife.
Or your wife.
Scripture says the two shall become one. So whatever pain the other's going through, y'all both supposed to be sharing that. Okay? So not to say, listen, not to say that whatever that person's going through, they don't believe that they need to bring you down, but still you need to show some type of concern for that other person.
At least inquire about counsel.
Right.
At least inquire about counsel.
Hey, go to we're gonna end it on this. 2 Peter 3. 2 Peter 3, and I want to read verse 9 on down. Let's read it quick.
2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise.
This is going back to Lucifer and Satan in Isaiah 14. Go ahead.
The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long-suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance.
That's the will of the Most High, that we all come to repentance, those that are scheduled to get the kingdom. Read on.
But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night.
You will not know. That ending, that beginning of sorrows, the end could be, who knows? Today, now, who knows? We don't know. Read on.
In the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise.
That's the bombs.
And the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?
So going back to the point you made, if your spouse is not in here and you know this stuff is coming and you love them, what type of person should you be to be trying to get them back in here? Should you be at ease where it's all good and dandy? I ain't even worried about him. I ain't inquiring about him with leadership. Somebody say something to him, send him a text message, a video, come over, something. Or should you be like, it's all good. I'm gonna wait on the. I gotta work out my own soul salvation.
And yet you're heirs together.
There you go.
Right.
So understand that, brothers or sisters, if you are with a spouse and you have not tried to win them over until the point comes where, like it says in Corinthians, if they leave, you're not under bondage, that's on them, right? But if you have not tried to win them over to this truth, you're going to have to answer to the Most High for not being a beacon of light.
But basically, Cap, if you just gave up on them,
good point.
Off the jump, I'm leaving. All right, well, nigga, leave. Or all right, well, then go on, get out my house. Just automatically trouble in the flesh, and you just give up on each other, you're gonna be judged for that.
All right, your job description is all in the name. Help me. Supposed to help the man. Just think about it. As wicked as Nabal was, Abigail still tried to save his life.
Good point. I was just about to say that.
Good point.
But y'all would rather pray, Lord, please let a bus hit his ass.
They want the end of the ball to come along.
Kill him so I can get me a new husband,
10
Lord.
days later.
I won with a 6-pack.
6-pack. Okay. Nah, let me stop.
All right, so yeah, so I hope we explained the difference between the devil and Lucifer.
We used to scream Black Power while Heron was pushed But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.